100th Day Project, written by Elizabeth Charles, illustrated by Marley Harold Quills. Counting to 100, Letitia walked into the kitchen and washed her hands for dinner. "What have you been up to?" her father asked. "I've been counting. I need to know what I have 100 of," Letitia said. "I have 119 stickers, 106 pennies, but I only have 74 crayons." "Why do you need 100 things?" her father asked. "Tuesday is the 100th day of school," Letitia said. "As a 100th day project, everyone needs to bring 100 of something. The whole family can help you with the project," her father said. "But we need to eat dinner. Fetch your brother and tell him it's time to eat." 100 of something. After dinner, Letitia showed her family a large piece of paper. There was 100 squares marked on the paper grid. "I have blue 100 objects in those 100 squares," Letitia said. "That should be easy," her brother said. "Use your pennies. My teacher wants our projects to be creative." "Let's brainstorm. Do you read in your school?" her mother said. "We read a new book every day." "I like books," Letitia said. "Making little books." "What do you like about books?" her brother asked. Letitia said and smiled. "I like the covers, I like the titles, I like the stories." "We could help you make little books. Teeny tiny books will fit on the grid," her brother said. Letitia wasn't sure. "If we make books, could I write on them?" "Of course, it's your project. We're just helpers," her mother said. "Right," her brother agreed. "It's your choice." Letitia liked the sound of that. Secret messages. Letitia and her family made the little books, but they used a lot of supplies. Then Letitia wrote little notes in the books. She had to write very small. When Letitia finished it, she shared her project with her family. They were surprised by her idea. "Cool," her brother said. "This was very creative," said her mother. On the 100th day, everyone brought projects to school. Letitia showed her project to the class. At the top, she had written 100 reasons I love to come to school. The term made her friends curious. They began reading the messages in the little books. The special project. "Look, Kate, this one about you," Mia said. "It says, 'I like to see Kate smile.'" Soon there was a crowd around Letitia's project. The teacher decided to read the little books to the whole class. After he read each book, the class clapped the person the book was about. There were books for every student in Letitia's grade and every teacher at the school. There was a book for the custodians, the school bus drivers, librarians, principal, and the cafeteria workers too. Letitia had found a creative way to celebrate the 100th day of school. Her 100 reasons told 100 people why they were special. Ancient Egypt, written by Kira Freed. Introduction. Thousands of years ago, a group of people lived in the African country of Egypt. They lived in the banks on the Nile River. They were farmers and hunters. They used the river for boat travel. They were ruled by a king called the Pharaoh. Beliefs. The ancient Egyptians believed that after someone died, he or she went to live in another world. They believed the person's next life would be like their present life. They thought that that person would need the same tools and objects in the next life. So people were buried with many of the things that they owned. Ancient Egyptians believed in the sun god. They believed the king was related to this god. When the king died, he was given a very fancy burial. Many riches were buried with him. Queens are also given fancy burials. After king died, his body was preserved so that it would not rot. The king's body was treated with spices, oils, and other things to preserve it. People believed that this would keep his spirit alive. The preserved body was called a mummy. Pyramids. The king was buried inside a huge stone structure called a pyramid. The pyramid was shaped to look like the sun's rays shining on earth. People believed that the king would go to heaven on the rays of the sun. Pyramids took many ways to build. When the king was still alive, the people began building his pyramid. The stone used to make the pyramid were huge. It took hard work to get the stone out of the ground. It took harder work to move the stones where the pyramid would be built. Some stones were moved on boats, other stones were moved on other land using big sleds. In the island was a tomb. In the pyramid was a tomb. This was a special room where the king's body was placed. Many objects were put in the tomb. There were statues, paintings, and many gold things. Many hidden tunnels and rooms were built inside the pyramid. They were built to trick anyone who tried to steal things from the tomb. Giant stones were put in of the doorway of the real tomb. They were used to keep out thieves. Still, almost every king's tomb has been robbed over the years, but the pyramids still stand. The Great Pyramid at Giza was a famous pyramid. It was built of King Khufu. It was more than 2 million blocks of stone. Other pyramids near it were built for the king's relatives. A statue called the Sphinx guards of all the pyramids. The Sphinx has the face of a king and the body of a lion. Conclusion. Studying the ancient Egyptians teaches us a lot about life long ago. People learn about tools these people used and clothes they wore. They can learn the foods they ate and the gods they worshipped. By studying ancient Egyptians, we know that they had a great culture. Anna and the Painted Eggs. Anna saw her mother was taking a large, brightly painted Easter eggs out of the box. They called us paisanki eggs. Anna's mother said, "They're Ukrainian Easter eggs. Your grandma Sasha gave them to us." "They are real eggs?" Anna said. "They're so beautiful." "Yes, they're goose eggs. Her grandmother painted them 100 years ago in Ukraine. Anna's mother said. "She also brought something just for you." "A music box," Anna said as she began to whine. The music plays. The doors opened. There was a dancing goose inside. "Ask her to read the story about it after dinners," said her mother. "These eggs must be hard to paint," Anna said. "It takes time," her grandmother said. "I'll show you how to do it tomorrow. Will you read me a story about the dancing goose and the blue egg tonight?" Anna asked. Grandma Shasha opened a large storybook. There was a kind woman who lived all alone near the woods. Her grandmother began. Her family was far away. Night after night she sat and played her music box. One cold morning, the old woman found a goose with a broken wing. She took care of the goose all winter. When the goose was strong again, she laid one blue egg before she flew away. Soon the blue egg hatched. Grandma Shasha read. The baby goose loved the kind woman. It lived for the rest of her life. Shasha. The woman never felt all alone again. That was the dancing goose in my music box, Anna said. Anna got early the next morning. The kiss cup pen draws with warm wax, Shasha said. As you would will draw with ink. The design on this egg will have parts that are white, yellow, green, and dark blue. I'm drawing the part I want to be yellow. The wax will protect the yellow part on the design when I dip the whole egg in the green dye, Shasha explained. Other wax or drawing protects the parts I want to be white. Watch closely while I tell you a story about the painting eggs. One long winter in Ukraine, all the house was snow in 4 weeks. She began. No one could walk to the village. The woman had dozens of goose eggs and to sell, but she couldn't walk to the market. The woman painted for snow to melt. She became very bored, Grandma Shasha said. She painted a clown's face on an egg. She painted a tree on another egg. She kept painting until she had painted them all. The spring, the woman sold all her painted eggs in the village Easter fair, her grandmother said. People came from other villages to see her painted eggs. They all wanted to try her own designs, said her grandmother. Some people like simple designs. Others learned to paint in layers of colored dye and wax. As I am, her grandmother said. Are you ready to try one? She asked. Try a simple one, Anna said. I'll try a simple one, Anna said. I'll draw a dancing goose. Then I'll dip him in blue.